Hey guys, welcome to KristenKellyTV. Okay, so I got my eyebrows tattooed today. The procedure is called microblading, but you can also call it feathering. There's a lot of different names, but pretty much it is tattooing. What you do is you go to a professional, they numb you, they measure you, and then they take it's not a needle, it's like a blade kind of, and they dip it in ink, and then they make little strokes that mimic hairs onto your eyebrows. You can also get this on areolas, which is your nipples. You can get it on camouflage of a scar. You can also get it if you are a man and your hairline is receding, or if you have a bald spot, they can make it like little dots. So there's lots of different ways that they can do semi-permanent tattoos. The reason it's semi-permanent is because it does not last for the rest of your life. Mostly because it turns into more of a shadow, because they don't go as deep as a traditional tattoo. So back in the day when people used to get tattoos of their eyebrows, it would be very bold, and it would turn normally like purple or pink or blue because the ink changes. Ink now, this ink is different. So this ink is not supposed to change like that traditional ink. Also, the techniques are different. So they mimic hairs, yes, but the way that they mimic hairs is different. So microblading is kind of like a new trendy word, but people have been using these techniques for a really long time. It's just that now it's more in vogue. I got mine done about 3 years ago. I paid around $300. I went to my hairdresser. My hairdresser had a woman that worked right next door to her. And that woman, I've been loving soda water. Like, I can't even drink normal water anymore. That woman did mine, and when she did them, I was having my period, which is like the worst thing ever. Don't ever do anything when you're having your period. Don't get waxed. Don't get anything done when you're having your period. It is just a bad idea. So I was having my period, so my pain threshold was like really bad at the time. On top of it, it took her forever. She took a really long time mapping my eyebrows out. It took her a really long time to match the color perfectly. It took her a really long time to get my eyebrows how I wanted. It was very painful. I probably was there for an hour, and it was excruciating pain. I filmed it, and I was going to make a YouTube video about it. I ended up not doing that because I really was not in love with the process. It was super painful, and I felt that if I made a video, it would be more constructive than it would be good for that girl and for her business. So I decided just not to make anything. So that was about 3 years ago. Here are the things that in those 3 years that I liked about what she did. I liked that it definitely made my eyebrows fill in more. So it made them darker, most definitely, and it filled in any little spaces I had, so I really enjoyed that. What I didn't like was that A, it was really uncomfortable and painful when I did it. B, I could see that there was like a little bit, I could see the shadow, I could see it forming into a shadow. And actually the woman who did my brows this time explained to me that the reason it turns into a shadow is because if the lines, so people try to make good Instagram photos because they want to post a good Instagram photo so that people say, oh, this looks great, I'm gonna go to that person and I'm gonna give them my money. But that artist does not care about the fact that if the lines are too close together, they're going to bleed together, which is going to make a shadow. So a good artist tries to space out the hair strokes so that as the ink bleeds and as over time it stays looking like a hair and doesn't turn into a shadow. My friend went to this same woman, and I loved my friend's eyebrows, and her mom went there. Her mom also got her lips done there, got like them colored in there, and I really liked how her mom looked. I really liked how her eyes looked, her eyebrows, and my friend's eyebrows. So I wanted to go there. I have a week off from school, and I decided that this was a good time. I called. They normally are booked in months in advance. She had a cancellation that somebody had made, or someone had just canceled. So I was lucky enough to get in there. The first appointment of the day, I went today. I got my brows done. Can I just say that, like, going to a professional and going to somebody that has been doing this for a long time was so amazing. She took the pencil, went, done. I looked in the mirror and I said, perfect. Like, literally perfect. I didn't have to say, oh, I want this a little thicker, I want that a little thinner, or I want this a little longer. Perfect. She mapped it out perfectly. Like, you could tell that she's an artist. She's been doing this for over 25 years. You could tell, like, just, she was like, and I looked in the mirror, perfect. And I'm a perfectionist, so if I look in the mirror and I'm like, yes, you know it's good. It was painful. She did 3 passes on each brow. It was $800, which is more money than I spent before, but the fact that she did 3 passes, it was painful. It was very painful, but it was over quick. I'm not having my period this time. And I love my brows. They look so good. So they're gonna oxidize tonight. So the ink hits the air and it changes. So it turns like black. So the color that we went with was dark blonde. So, because my natural hair color is dark blonde. So my body hair color is dark blonde. So they went with dark blonde for my eyebrows. She mapped it out perfectly. The strokes look perfectly. It does not hurt right now. They will scab over, so it's gonna be really dark tonight, then they're gonna scab. It's probably gonna be about 4 weeks until they're completely healed. But I absolutely love them. It was such a good process, and I'm going to study under the woman who did me. So she actually teaches, so you have to do 100 hours of teaching, and then you have to mentor, or not mentor, I'm sorry. Then you have to do 100 hours, and then you have to apprentice. So once you do 100 hours and you apprentice, and people can apprentice for years. You can apprentice for 5 years before you are comfortable enough or good enough. So I'm going to study, I'm gonna do the 100 hours and take her course, which is like a big commitment. It's like, it's a lot of money and it's a big commitment, but it's something that I really wanna do. And then I'm going to hopefully be doing microblading and all different types of semi-permanent and permanent makeup. I'm really excited because, you know, I love esthetician school, and one of the things I really wanted to do was I wanted to do stuff like this. Like, I want to do people that have like cleft palates and people that have like burn victims. Like, I really want to help people that have scars and do things like that. Not only do eyebrows, but also do that. But that's going to take years. Because I talked to her about it today, and she was like, it's going to take you years, because she's like, on a scar, every single inch is different. Every single centimeter is different. It's so different. So I'm really excited about that. I just want to show you guys my eyebrows. So I'm gonna come close and show you. I don't have any makeup on, don't be scared. All right, guys. Well, oh, and I'm gonna be going back in 4 weeks or 5 weeks for my touch-up, because some of the ink will not stay, because it's not deep into the dermis, so some of it will stay, some of it won't. So I'm going to be going back in like 4 or 5 weeks, and she'll do my touch-ups. All right, I hope you guys like this video. I'll give you a I guess I'll check in a few days and like let you know how my eyebrows are doing. All right, bye. I don't need you.